bro? It's been too
Hello.
long.
It has
I'm
been
sorry.
really long.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take personal responsibility for this, because of the fact that I got really busy. Um, do we want to do a life update first, or should we do the icebreaker?
Um, I would say. Wait, what was the question?
Do you want to start? Can you tell we're really rusty at this? This is
No,
really
we are
bad.
so rusty. It's been like 2 months, so I don't
Happy
know
New
what.
Year,
Yeah,
and then we
even
just
though
disappear the face off the earth, like just absolutely gone. Like it
no,
doesn't
it,
exist.
it's been. I mean, you all know it's been a crazy 2-3 months, right? I mean, we all
Absolutely.
have personal lives to live, but on a national level, it's been crazy.
Oh, absolutely. We're so quick. Okay, wait. We'll do a quick update. I have a job now. I work on campus. It's really bad. I'm kidding. I love my job. I really love my job. I love the people I met. Um, I'm getting more involved in stuff, in the things that matter to me, and also like just being an engineering student. I'm getting fucked in the ass constantly. Like, who is there with me? Say I. You know, like.
I wish I could say I, but I'm not. I'm getting fucked another way. And not in the way that everyone thinks. It's really not. I wish, but that's gonna be like next episode. uh,
I wish. Our money's going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's happening anymore. Like, basically, our icebreaker question is: how much money did you used to spend for groceries, and how much is it now?
right, and I guess I'll segue into my update about this, my own personal update. I think it's in a positive. It's in a positive sense. I have not actually spent nearly half of what I used to spend on, on DoorDash or like
I applaud
Uber
to
Eats
you.
or anything. No, but I have to give majority of the thanks to my sister because
Are we gonna
due to
put her
her-
blast? We're gonna blast her. What's going on?
I love you, Janica, but and it's not a but. I love you regardless. It's just your misfortune has turned into a blessing for me because the time when mom and dad left to the Philippines, right? You didn't have work, but you realized, hey, we need to eat some dinner.
Dude, she
has
could
learned how to
like
cook.
actually.
And the thing is, and
Like,
this
holy
is gonna be
fuck.
the up to you. If you're watching this, just know I love you. I like your cooking better than mom's cooking.
Oh, it's because your mom cooks like an almond mom, bro. I'm
She
being
does cook
so
like an
dead
almond mom.
ass.
Yeah.
Well, no, Janica's also like almond mom-esque, but like
Yeah.
she's cultured. This woman is cultured. She knows how to cook. Dude, every single time she was on FaceTime, she was cooking something up every single day, and I was just like, holy shit, Rico's like, he's eating good.
I am.
He's eating good.
I didn't have to worry about food that much. And I mean, in the times, when she didn't want to cook, right? Or she felt
Right.
tired, feeling it. I
That one
said,
time we got
know-
Jollibee.
Oh,
That was so good.
this,
Putting it
that
out
was
there.
essentially a celebration. I can't say it's a celebration. It is a celebration. I was essentially celebrating. Shit, we don't have parents for the next 3 weeks. Like I'm gonna throw a party, and we kind of did.
Yeah, it was
I think
fun.
that was a fun Friday night.
That was a fun Friday, yeah. That's basically what happened in your life, right?
Yeah.
How much did you guys spend over on those 3 weeks for like just groceries? I remember you guys wanted to go. You guys went to go get groceries that one Sunday.
After one Sunday, we took tots with us.
Yeah, right.
That
How much was that?
That was 100.
Oh fuck!
And we still have some of those canned goods and other groceries. Like some of them is still sitting in the pantry right
that's
now.
good.
We haven't touched it, or we barely touched it.
Yeah, recently I had to go get groceries, and like it was me and my brother, and it was just water, some fruits for my dad because we are trying to eat more healthy. We got like avocados and stuff, and all this like crazy shit. And then at the end of the day, I am pretty unhealthy. I just went to go get like air fried chicken, like in those like little bags. Those are so good though. So I'm gonna be so. I need my protein in my life.
Pre-air fried, or is it
No,
actually just
they're like
air-fried?
it's frozen, and then you're supposed to air fry them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like
so they are pre-prepared. Then.
Yeah, pre-prepared kind of thing. Yeah. That was literally like almost $70 all in all. and I'm pretty sure the only reason why is because of the fruits and like the fruits and vegetables, that all the healthy stuff was so fucking expensive. Don't even start with the eggs. Like I'm not even looking for eggs anymore. Like there's no point in looking for eggs. There's no point in going to Costco anymore. Like I don't get it.
Right. Hold on. Have I been recording?
Yes, you have. I started it.
Oh, you started it.
Yes.
When did you start it?
When you started the recording.
Okay, good. That's good.
Tell me this guy has ADHD without telling me this guy has ADHD.
No, it's just undiagnosed, but I know it's there.
Oh, we know. Don't
How
worry.
many times do I revisit my house before I leave?
Too many times.
Today was once.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
So it's pretty good today. But
on a bad day?
On a bad day, I go back like 3-4 times. I'm like, I don't have my keys.
I wish my brother was like you.
He just doesn't give a fuck.
No, there was this one time he was dropping me. Oh, there's another thing. I should stop being a privileged ass fucking spoiled brat, the youngest child. I keep getting dropped off to school, and it doesn't help because gas prices aren't even fucking fun either. Like,
no, they're not.
We're not. We're just spending all of our money at this point. Like, I got a job at the cost of spending money on gas. My brother dropped me off once. He completely forgot his phone, 17 miles away from home. He was like, "Hey, I realized I forgot my phone." And I'm like, "Are you being dead ass right now? Like, are you like?" Oh my god. Anyways, I wish my brother was like you. He forgets his wallet. He forgets his phone. He doesn't even bring keys around him. It's like he doesn't need keys. He says, "I'm just like, what are you gonna do if I'm not with you?" I bring keys around with me like everywhere I go. It's like an essential. This motherfucker no thought in the world.
Well, he'll learn. Eventually he'll get to that age where you're just like, dude, if I get pulled over without my license, without my wallet,
it was meant to be. It was in God's plan.
He's gonna realize, oh shit, now I have to go to court.
No, this man. Oh my god, this man has never been called for jury duty. I have.
Oh,
he didn't get called for jury duty when he first turned 18, but I did. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this like a class of 23 curse? Like, does God hate me? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Class of 23 curse is crazy. He'll learn. I'll tell you. He'll learn how to pick up his act, and then he'll actually go and check. Hey, before we leave, do I have my wallet? Do I have my phone? Do I have my keys?
This is what happens when you have to fucking grow up. Like, we're both in our employment era now. I'm paying for things. I'm like, my parents don't even tell me, hey, I'll pay you back for groceries. No, they're like, just put it on your credit card. I'm like, put it on your credit card.
Your problems goes away. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Like, don't even ask me for how much my monthly statement is on my credit card. It's not even funny anymore. Speaking of being an adult,
yeah, I am not even checking my credit card statement right now. But the thing is, it's not for like the reason you think it's a bad reason, right?
Okay.
I'm not checking it because I know my SCCCU or like our credit union. I am not checking that one because I know they're more strict with like direct deposit, so like it won't really come in until the day of. Even though like my Bank of America one just gave me like the odd, majority of the ones 2 days early, and I'm like,
oh,
I'm not gonna. That's why I was like, I'm not even gonna check it.
At that point, I live life blissfully. Ignorance is truly bliss.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes your paycheck hits like earlier than expected. Sometimes it just hits the day up.
Yeah,
you gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah. Speaking of being an adult, though. Speaking of the real world.
Okay, ask the question. Ask away. Let's punch into it.
We're gonna do a whole political timeline because I feel like it's well deserved after being gone for months, and we're gonna start from the inauguration.
This is our own State of the Union address to you guys. This is a timeline check. So
if you aren't
relax,
ready to,
not relax.
Don't relax.
Don't relax.
It's not the time to relax.
We are in crunch time. Get your coffee. Sit down.
It's time to. If you need a time to pre-lock in and give yourself really that motivation, be like, I need to prove these bitches wrong, and I need to get my ass up and get my shit together. Now is the time to sit down and really think about it, listen to this, and just be ready to reflect and take action. This is your time to take initiative.
Right. We'll talk about the timeline as it
Okay,
is
first
right
and
now.
foremost, the inauguration. That was just a whole shit show, in my personal opinion. Um, the first thing I want to just talk about is the complete irony that he did not touch the Bible when he was swearing in.
Oh yeah, homeboy said, "I'm not. I ain't touching that because if I touch it, I'm gonna burn myself
Right.
because I know I'm a sleazy lying son of a bitch."
No, literally, like, what was he so afraid of for not wanting to touch it? Like, what are you afraid of? You literally said you called to every single Christian in this nation and was like, "This is for the greater good of Christianity."
And yet, why would you not touch the Bible if you were swearing on that oath?
Right.
Yeah, because we're Christians, we can see it that way. But like another perspective you can look at it is that he doesn't swear on the Bible because the things that he's gonna do, and you see it right now, right? The things
Right.
that he's gonna do, he does not want to be held accountable in terms of biblical aspect, right?
Yeah. I think that was a really just huge precedent for like what was to come. That was he set the tone by just not touching that Bible.
To people out there who do not subscribe to him or support him, he didn't swear on the Bible because he knows he's gonna do demonic things.
Straight up.
Yep.
He knows himself. His own intentions aren't anything that is towards the kingdom of God.
Yep.
So like what's the point? I don't know. Like that's so crazy to me.
No, yeah.
That was such a heavy and hard day for me when I was just starting off. That was like during the first quarter of my school year,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was
that.
just like that first quarter was just rough. No one was really happy for the first few weeks, and normally people at my school are like chill first few weeks because I mean, come on, there's no time crunch for midterms, no nothing. It's like you're getting used to all this work and all the schoolwork, but no, being on campus just felt heavy. It was tough. It was rough.
Yeah, for me, it was a weird time, because how I have my new full-time job, right? There's a lot of things that was just new information flooding into my head, but also at the same time really flagrant, not warming and assuring information from out there that's just hitting me. Also, I'm not gonna. I have been stuck in a rut for a little while since then.
Let's be honest. I feel like everyone has, especially during like winter. Well, we're still in winter-ish right now,
Yeah.
but like January winter and a little bit of February, everyone was stuck in the rut, and it was really bad. And we all acknowledged it, but it's hard to help each other if we can't help ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
But there was that sense of unity where it's like there's that comfort that everyone
Yeah,
was
everyone's
stuck in the
feeling
rut.
it, and everyone's feeling exactly what comes with this administration. We'll take the few couple weeks that we need, and then we have to bounce back, right?
Right. Morning was definitely a sense of mourning and just kind of running into the new administration was
Right.
definitely needed. I don't think there's I know there's some people that will give you shit for it, be like, dude, like if you're so upset about it, do something. No, you sometimes you have to let yourself feel that shit, or you're just gonna explode, and it's just gonna be erratic, and
Yeah.
it's just gonna be
I
harmful
mean,
to yourself and others.
you're a human being. You're a person. You
Letting it sink
feel
in.
right. You have to let it sink in, and you have to process it. Experience something, you process it, you acknowledge it for what it is, and then you make a decision, an informed decision for yourself moving forward.
Yeah, to the people who did vote, and to the people who were celebrating, like around the end of January, it's just
They were,
Fafo.
yeah, they were
They truly fucked around.
definitely, yeah, they were definitely celebrating then. Moving forward, they're not going to be celebrating any longer.
It just kept when you thought that like what it could always be worse. It could always be worse,
It could,
and it did.
yeah. And the
You
thing is,
know,
they want to take that "it could always be worse" thing, that whole sentence. It could be worse. They want to test the limit of that.
Right. Like, at what point did we think that we took that seriously? Who said that that was a competition of what could be worse? Can we not?
Who in the right minds, in the right educated minds, would say, oh, it could be worse. I want to figure out how bad it can be.
This isn't the scientific method, Beige. You don't even believe in science. Like, come on. Like, can we get to the point where we're like, I think that's enough. That's enough. It's time to put it down.
Yeah. Um,
But
I
definitely
do
what.
have to, yeah.
No, no, no.
Okay. I will say, with the videos that gets me through work sometimes, if I'm being an iPad kid at work, right,
Right.
and I'm focused and locked in, right, I'm either listening to another podcast, or I'm listening to music, or I'm listening to political commentator. I'm not gonna lie, some of the political commentators that address these topics, I would say, like, my shift on identity in politics has kind of, it's gotten a little steeper, a little more
Right.
skewed, really, towards, we cannot be nice anymore. We cannot play nice politics anymore. If these people will just do anything underhanded, say anything, insult anything, anybody, right?
There's
What
no
what stops
preservation
us?
for other people.
Yeah, right. What stops us from, what honestly, what is stopping us from playing the same game they are? If they want to win at any cost, we need to have that same energy,
Right.
right?
Because, I mean, okay, let me ask y'all now. Like, aren't you fucking tired? Like, we tried to fight as much as possible during the elections, and then, of course, we get fucked over. And it's not like you can't you can't deny the fact that now, like, there's nothing we can do but take action, and don't take action lightly. Don't take action silently. Don't just underhand the fact that this when Biden had his whole speech around the end during the inauguration, it was a literal fucking call to action. That man literally told our military to remember what oath they took. And it wasn't the oath to the president, it was the oath to the Constitution. And what does the Constitution say, bro? It says so many things, and Trump goes against so many of those things.
Yeah.
You At this point, everything is pointing towards the fact and the severity and the fact that we need to unionize and come together at this point, or nothing will happen.
Right.
Aren't you fucking tired?
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking tired.
Oh, I'm so tired, which is why, like I said, I had to shift my mentality. I'm not gonna say the word here because I'm gonna keep it nice just for this and to ease people, right?
Right.
But inevitably, I want everyone to be clear that I'm gonna keep it a buck when I'm on this podcast. All the politically correct terms that we use, oh, you can't say that word because it's demeaning to one community. We have to really just, that's not the biggest issue here. The biggest issue is in the White House right now. Are we really gonna hyper focus on, you can't say the R word, you cannot say the F slur? Like I get it, but we cannot be enforcing that right now when there's a bigger problem, right? What, like, if we cannot get on that page and say, like, let's put our different, we are all, like, progressive, so let's all put that aside and actually do something about the common enemy, and then afterwards let's discuss about it, right?
Right,
Let's
there's worse
educate people.
evils
Yeah,
out there.
exactly.
And there's certain things that, yes, they are urgent, and yes, they are important. But again, we can't. I think I've mentioned this before when we had that podcast about that episode for about the elections, where we can't fight for those smaller things and those um, things that we can control right now if we can't even control the bigger issue here. If we can't even fight for the fact that I can say those things, or I can fight for those things and believe those things.
Think about it. How can you elevate others if you don't have a platform, right? What gives you the credibility to be able to say, hey, we are advocating for you, If you yourself don't have the platform, we need the platform of that into our leadership in this country. They don't have that this current administration does not have that. So I'm gonna tangent here a little bit, but it's still relevant. What do you think? This is more of like a post-mortem type of thing.
Okay.
Um, post-mortem review. People who either did not vote out of protest for Kamala Harris, people that voted for Jill Stein out of protest for Kamala Harris. What do you think about them? Post-mortem. Because I have my own things to say about that.
You dumb bitch. Sorry.
Okay, no, good,
Like,
good.
I'm sorry. I understand that we have a different. This is my perspective as a person who has been educated in the high school system and a public school, who definitely has been fed the white narrative, and I'm learning to undo that, obviously. But from the things that I know and the things that I've been fed and the things that people have told me and what my teachers and my professors have done to do and undo these things, I get it that people have different priorities when they vote. They have different political agendas that they prioritize over the other. And I understand that. But when you understand and kind of ground yourself into the real world and you're looking at Trump in the face through a screen, through whatever you read about him, don't you think that hey, this guy obviously has a greater power? And looking at the left side, we are starting to see that there's this divide about what we want to prioritize first, which is really weird, first and foremost. That's a red flag. That's what I noticed during the election. Why are we starting to divide over different political agendas? Those ideas and those agendas shouldn't be politicized anyways. Those are real life things. People are at stake. There's things that are push and pulls on that. Why are we politicizing it and then having to put it on a spectrum of what's priority if we can't even ground ourselves in the fact that this guy on the other right wing side is literally just having a fucking field day?
That's so funny.
What do you mean that you want to prioritize something else right now at the cost of an orange tanned fucking wrinkly man that is having a field day and just absolutely fucking abusing his platform?
You know
And
what?
you want to divide?
Yeah, exactly. You know what you call that? Do you know what you call when you don't see an imminent enemy right before your eyes and you're worried about something else? That's called privilege. That's called
Yikes.
privilege. Now that this person is in the White House, you lost that privilege. You lost it. This person, this orange man who should be in an orange tracksuit, literally told Israel to finish the job. Y'all were so worried about, you know, Killer Kamala, right? Or voting Jill Stein because she knows the and hears the Palestinian voices, right? Well, let me tell you now, because you did not decide to vote for the party that will make that makes sure that it's not gonna happen, that this ethnic cleansing and genocide doesn't fully consummate, right? If you because you didn't vote for that, look what's gonna happen. Trump Gaza. You seen that video? Have you seen that video?
I've
That
only seen
AI
clips of
video?
it.
Oh my goodness. That is demonism. That is demonic to the highest level. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna call out. I'm. This is our podcast is to
To
talk
be
about
real.
to be real, to talk about the hard truth. For you guys who did not vote for Kamala Harris because you wanted to teach her a lesson, or you voted for Jill Stein, you are to blame. I'm gonna keep that a buck. Your vote mattered, and you chose the side of privilege. You chose to say, oh, because there's policies and things that we don't agree with on the other side of the world. Okay, at the cost of what, your own country?
Again, I'd rather have the right to still protest for those political agendas and those social issues than not have it at all. And here I am putting myself basically on the line for still protesting those things. Because at the end of the day, yes, that obviously I'm going to have less of a right and I'm going to put a target on myself if I continue to protest and advocate for these social issues that definitely need to be done and worked on. But in another timeline, in another world where Kamala was elected into office, it would be a much safer environment.
Think about it this way. Wouldn't y'all think that the reason why Jill Stein wanted your vote, using the voices of oppressed Palestinians, wouldn't you think that was a ploy to divide the collective voices and votes needed to save this country from the monster we call Trump? If you feel like you're so educated and you're so empathetic, shouldn't you shouldn't you have realized that? You
Again, the whole idea of there are worse evils out there, and I feel like a lot of people just tend to overlook that. Like, I don't. We had one shot, everyone. We had one
we need
shot.
a platform to be able to bring this up. You What essentially happened that you guys caused us is that you took away that platform and now we're falling down to hell.
Right. And now we're experiencing such drastic things, and they're real and they're scary. And it's literally happening in our backyard, living in like the South Bay and living further down in SoCal. We're literally seeing ice trucks and ice cars just perusing around our own neighborhoods in our own towns.
Yeah.
That shit is real and that shit is scary. There are actual people who are fearing their lives over that, their whole livelihoods. And from my own experience of just in an academic perspective, I've seen the statistics, I've seen the personal anecdotes of people who were literally brought here, who were born here, and they're being deported. And this is all that they know. Being American is all that they know. Ethnically, all that these ICE people see is a Mexican, is a Filipino, is a person of color. And they don't give a fuck if you were born
They
here.
don't. Yeah, they don't. There's
They're gonna
already
send you back
there's
anyways.
already instances, and it's not just like a one-off instance. Increasingly, you'll see this already in independent news outlets. There are already people, naturalized citizens. They're getting pulled over by ICE. When they get pulled over by ICE, they offer, "Hey, I will show proof of citizenship." They don't give a fuck. They're just gonna cuff them, bring them in for processing, and that's the scary part.
These people
They're
don't have fucking warrants signed by
they
judges.
don't, and the thing is, like, they're ironically they're indiscriminately discriminating.
Yeah,
They don't give a fuck. You are, if you are not a straight white Christian man, you are up for grabs. I'm telling you that right now.
they've
You are up for
literally
grabs.
they've literally legalized racial profiling. That's what it essentially
Yeah.
is.
Some adults in my life think that Tom Homan should, address that. He's not
Mhm.
gonna give a fuck. He wants to prosecute AOC for telling people their constitutional rights. What? They don't give a fuck about the Constitution. They don't give a fuck about the law.
Who does?
Look what
Like,
happened, you dumb fucks.
oh my gosh, I don't know. Like, it's terrifying.
By the way, I say that for the people who are hard headed that are going to be watching this. For the people that get it, my heart goes out to you. And I'm not going to do the salute. But
Oh
my
my
heart
god.
actually goes out to you. Like,
Right.
we're all in this together.
Right.
We're all in this together,
Again
for
to
better or
the
worse.
again to the call to action. I'm not trying to guilt you into starting to be more into activism or doing all this, like putting your whole dropping everything in your life to do promote activism and all the things that you care about. No, I'm telling you that there's literally resources and there's ways for you to get connected and make sure that you get the support that you need, the resources that you can share and use, and literally just educate yourself. The biggest form of protest that I've learned as a person that's a college student, I am privileged to know that I'm literally getting educated every single day and I'm using the system that is literally against me. My own educational institution that is against me. I know it and I'm aware of it. I'm using that to my advantage to educate myself to go against the wrongs and the evil doings of my institution, my system. I'm telling you to do that as well because I thought it was impossible. I thought this is so intimidating. I don't even know where to start. Like, who do I know that's already involved in this stuff? And I literally felt alone. It doesn't matter that like my crew is here with me and we are on the same level of like, hey, we need to change these things. It's a completely different level when you have these people and you're gonna find these people that will literally bring you to call to action. They literally will help you take the initiative and literally go for it. That's all you need to
Yeah.
do. I'm telling you to take it the step at a time that you need to, the pace that you need to, because even if you aren't doing a lot or doing all these different things, the fact that you care and you're involved, that is literally a form of protest. Not that's a testament against Trump, his administration, all these institutions that are against you, all these systems that are literally trying to erase you and your whole identity. That is a form of protest, and that is a form of resilience that I'm sure historians will not overlook our generation and our decade. And you're going to be part of that.
Education is one of the purest forms of protest, as Ren said. Educate yourselves, and we've said that in the like previous
Yeah.
the second episode we did. Educate yourselves. That is how you arm. That is how you make sure that you do not get swayed by all of this information that these conservatives are saying.
Right. And even, and I know it's scary right now. Like, let's be for real. It's fucking terrifying. I am terrified. We're both terrified.
Yeah, I'm terrified as well.
Every single day. Every single day. But it's time to really know your rights. You need to educate yourself on what privileges you do have, what privileges you don't have. You see how Trump is literally changing the judicial system and what laws are being in place right now. That's literally being changed right before our very eyes.
He who saves his country breaks no law. Who has said that? Napoleon, Hitler, all these dumb dictators in history. It's a historical lesson. History repeats itself, and you don't want to listen to it. Hey, I can't help you if you don't want to be educated. America was literally made to separate itself from a king. Can you say roundabout way? We literally went in a circle. We are literally eating ourselves back to the time of 1776. We wanted to escape a king, now we want to go back to a king. Why?
What logic?
America stands to do away with all of that. We are a nation that governs by the people for the people. Okay?
What happened to that? You know?
An education. Bullshit campaigns. Honestly, don't even call it like don't even call it like misinformation campaigns. Just call it bullshit campaigns.
Right.
Look what happened. You you hear and don't. I mean, how do I say this? If you listen to all these right wing people like Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, they may sound eloquent, right? They can debate. The truth is, they're dumb fucks. They've proven themselves to be dumb fucks, and they don't stand for the American people.
And what did you say again? It was an information war.
Yeah. Oh, right. So He's a smaller like content creator on YouTube right now. But what he said was that the reason, like the root cause, there's many reasons, but the root cause of why we lost is not this past election. It is the stoking of misinformation that the Republicans have waged war on the left 10 years ago. They played an informational war game against the Democrats, against progressives, against liberals,
And
anyone that's
look,
left leaning.
and look where we are now.
Yeah.
Who
Look,
was in the front row, right? Of instead of the cabinet being the front row, the people, the CEOs of Amazon, Facebook, Twitter.
yeah.
I'm a dead name Twitter. I don't give. I'm a dead name
Yeah,
the
just
Gulf
that
of
name Twitter. Yeah,
Mexico.
fuck
Like
it. Fuck it.
that's what it was born as, right?
Yeah.
That's how it was founded.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was called when it
Yeah.
was founded.
The information war, right? The Republicans, like they systematically unified themselves in the informational space. Why do you think we don't have a left wing equivalent to the Daily Wire? That's Ben Shapiro and formerly Candace Owens's, like, I think Matt Walsh and some other, like, Jordan Peterson, all of them, right? All of the superstars in right wing political commentary, they have the Daily Wire. There's also a Turning Point USA. Look how well oiled they turned their base of information in the last 10 years. What what do the Democrats have? Nothing. In this info war, Democrats are fighting with sticks and stones while Republicans have been fighting with ARs. We have been losing this information war since 10 years ago. And the people suffer for it. So I want
Our
y'all to
parents
realize
suffer for
that, even though they don't realize it yet.
There's people who are victims that they don't even realize they're victims. They think, like, I don't know if this is something that not a lot of people know or are wanting to be aware about, but ever ever since Gen Z thing and like grew up with technology, it's like all they've been teaching is that media has bias, news has bias, and now we're literal victims of it because look where it got to us. It literally has seeped into our politics.
I have to give it props to the Republican side though, because they did that, and look where it paid off. It didn't pay off immediately, but for people like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens to go to colleges, right, to act friendly and personable yet like eloquent, they chose to debate students who are in no way, they're not ready to debate people like them, because these are adults, they have careers, right,
More
they're
knowledgeable in these
yeah, so
things.
obviously college students would be underprepared, they'd feel insecure, right, it's it's inherent bullying, but it worked. You see it, like they didn't, it wasn't like bullying in the sense like they made them feel bad, like outwardly, but look, they indoctrinated these college students, right, they indoctrinated the young people who were eligible to vote. Look, because they postured themselves to look knowledgeable and eloquent, these these impressionable college students ate it up. And now look, you have a lot of young men who are essentially done with this whole like BS, and I guess that the politically correct culture has pushed on them, right? And on top of the whole male loneliness epidemic, right? They're done with that bullshit. That's why they listen to people like Andrew Tate, they listen to Charlie Kirk, they listen to Matt Walsh, they listen to Jordan Peterson, the self-help stuff, like the toxic self-help stuff, right?
Yes,
They ate that
extremely
shit up.
toxic.
They came out in this election in droves. And that's why I say, as much as I hate this MAGA movement, I gotta give them props.
They worked their asses off to manipulate these
They
motherfuckers on a
they did.
mass
They did.
scale.
I'm not taking that away from them. This is why I'm saying,
That's
like,
exactly the problem,
yeah, yeah. I'm saying it's a problem,
It's so
and
impressively wrong.
and it's crazy how we are only now starting to pick up on that, right?
Realizing that was their tactic all
Exactly.
along.
It's great now that we're having independent journalists like Aaron Parnas, Adam Mockler, and the recently #1 podcast, the Midas Touch podcast. Hey, shout out to you if you guys see this. Hey, I'm a big fan.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. The Maysalas brothers, right? You all are doing such a great job being independent and pro democracy. And I think this is the kind of transparency that the people need. This is the kind of footing that the people on the left really need to start having. We're 10 years behind in this info war. You guys paving the way for that, I think, is really, really much needed in these times. So, I mean, if you see this, thank you. Thank you so much.
Doing a service for the people,
Yep,
man.
yep. It's just unfortunate that we're only now having a foothold in that space. We have to play catch up for 10 years.
Right.
Like we have to play catch up for something that's been ongoing for 10 years.
And let
right?
me just put this out there. I'm a victim to it too. I've spent my whole life questioning whether or not activism was an important part of my life, which is, in retrospect, yes. I don't know, stone me to death or some shit over that. Like, I made that realization that yes, I'm in a STEM field, but that doesn't mean I should give up my arts. Doesn't mean I should give up my social activism. Doesn't mean I should give up the fact that I'm literally like all these other things. I'm queer. I'm literally an immigrant. I'm naturalized citizen. I'm all these other things. Like that should like I made that realization, and now I have to. I'm not being fed misinformation, and I'm not willingly taking in misinformation. But now it's literally my call to inform myself in an unbiased, in a real way, in a way that literally educates me and helps me understand that this is my country now, whether I want to or not, to believe it or not, as much as I don't want to be patriotic or not, or whatever the fuck. This is my country. I'm gonna be living here until God knows how long, if I ever move out of this country or some shit. But as far as I know, I have to take care of this country because guess what? This is where I'm gonna be living.
Mhm.
This literally will affect my day-to-day life. Don't you feel some sense of urgency that I need to educate myself now? You know?
Yeah.
If not now, then when?
Yep. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
like, I'm just telling y'all right now, like, sure, you can feel guilty. Sure, you can be mad at me. Sure, you can be mad at us or some shit.
I already know that there's gonna be backlash on just, especially what I said earlier about people who voted pro Palestine instead of pro America, right? Like
That's such a
here's the
bad way
thing.
to put it,
I
but
know
okay.
that's so bad. I know. Hey, shit, cancel me.
Take that
No,
with a
but
grain of salt.
take that with a grain of salt.
I hope you understand what he genuinely means, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can think whatever, right? But I'm just calling it as how it is. This is our podcast. This is us just calling out all the bullshit and saying things as it is. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. If once we need to point that out. If you voted in skew of Palestine and just to teach Kamala Harris a lesson, I think shame on you. You are dumb for that. And like I said, I'm doubling down on that. I'm gonna get flack. I already know that if this blows up, but it needs to be said. That doesn't mean I'm anti-Palestine. That doesn't mean I'm a Zionist. That doesn't mean
Let's
I,
stop jumping the gun and stop
y'all
like
need to y'all
labeling
need to
people with all
actually
these
think
things.
critically. We
Yeah.
cannot fight a war on all fronts at once. If this is a war, we need to fight the immediate enemy that is proving the most dangerous.
Right.
That is
Did we
that
never learn about attacking from the source? And guess who's been the source of all this? Guess who's the person that's stirring the fucking pot in the first place?
And it's not even just him too. It's his whole movement. It's his whole
All
lack
him
of
and his
it's-
fucking cronies, dude.
Exactly. It's his whole cronies. So you may give me flack. I'll take it, right? I'm still gonna keep it real though. Free Palestine, always. But I will reuse the term America first because I am an American, okay? I will fight for Palestine once my hands are not tied. Okay?
Because what is the point of me not? I understand our privilege of being here.
Yeah.
I understand the notion of what the Constitution was found under,
Yeah.
and the freedom and our rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is the point of that if our hands are tied in the first place?
And here's the thing too. I don't honestly don't even think calling me or anyone else out for saying what I just said is valid, because look who's gonna level Gaza and turn it into a tourist resort. If you if you're still saying I'm not for pro Palestine after that, when this guy releases a demonic AI video saying that he will level it and turn it into a tourist resort for him and Benjamin Netanyahu, don't talk to me.
And don't talk to me about literally just not caring about the people
Yeah.
when they literally released a whole ASMR video.
Oh my gosh, that was okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, you
Put into literal tears. I woke up that day and
you
it just ruined everything.
okay. I redact my statement when saying that the Trump Gaza video was the absolute highest demonic thing. That's actually even worse.
That was
Actually,
the worst.
I can't even say that's like worse than that. They're just they're just roughly so far gone and demonic that they're really
Whoever
just oh my
whoever thought that was appropriate anyway whatsoever. I'm sorry, you have a special reserved seat in hell.
yeah. You are destined for a first class ticket to hell.
Who? Oh my god, that shit put me in literal tears. Like, how was that? I wish it was. I wish it was AI,
No, no,
but it's a real
it's a
thing. They
real
thought that
thing.
was. They thought that was cool. They thought that was hip. They thought that was gonna get them to all
Yeah.
fucking. Oh my god, I just can't.
Yeah.
But
We're going back to the dark ages. Let's just be real. We have all this modern technology, but we're going back to the dark ages. We're going back to when the Salem witch trials were a thing.
bro,
Oh
next thing you know, they're gonna fucking call me. They're gonna burn me at the fucking stake, guys.
yeah, they're gonna burn you at the stake for being a quote unquote undocumented immigrant, but in reality, you are actually a legal naturalized citizen here. Like, what? And then they'll say, "Oops, we got it wrong. They were actually real citizens, but you're already dead."
So much for my parents' hard work. Am I right, guys? So much for our parents doing everything they can to give us a better life here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna touch on this too because we're Christians, right?
Mm.
Let's get it right. Christian nationalism is not Christian. Christian nationalism is not Christian, okay? Your calling here as a Christian, your calling here as a Christian is to go forth and teach. You're not here to save a nation. You're here to teach to all nations. Your kingdom is not on this earth, bro. Your kingdom is in heaven. You ain't supposed to make a
Tell that to
permanent home.
Time Magazine, bro.
Well, that was an AI thing. That
Was
wasn't
it?
them. But still, right? I mean, you can apply it to everybody.
What the fuck?
Again, I, if you're Christian, you should not be endorsing any of this. That is pure idolatry. He is a king. Trump is a king. Yeah. Guess who else had a king? Israel. King Saul. They wanted a king. King Saul was a bad king. He was
Once again, fuck around and find
yeah,
out.
he turned out to be a harsh lesson for the Israelites because they kept pressuring God just to say, "Hey, we want a king."
That sounds so oddly familiar, right, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
And history repeats itself,
History will
even
repeat
after
itself.
so many years.
Right. It's. Have you ever noticed that there's about an 80-year kind of reset,
Cycle?
like
Yeah.
cycle, where people learn about something, and it takes about like like 2.5 generations for people to kind of like phase that out of their mentality, right? 1776, then the year, the what's the biggest thing after that? The Civil War, right? What's 80? What's roughly 80 years after that? The Civil Rights Movement. What's 80 years after the civil rights movement? Where are we right now?
Oh wow.
1865 or 1965, right? What
Yeah.
is it right now? 2025.
And right now, and don't think that I get it that we're like American stuff. This is happening all over the world. In our own homeland, there's a literal fucking fascist.
Yeah.
It's a literal dictator.
Mm.
And also in Germany, there's a whole right wing scare.
Oh,
There,
but have you noticed their democracy actually won
right.
because they didn't let their far right movement win.
Also in Korea, right? Wasn't it Korea
Yeah,
where
they successfully and rightfully impeached two presidents who were being disruptive. That's how rule for the people is.
yeah,
If a representative of the people is getting out of line and trying to consolidate all power to him, the people have the constitutional right to exercise it and get them out.
right. Like this is happening all over the world. And I obviously I'm taking an ethics class right now. We were talking about this and how there's this right wing like wave that's happening in this the whole world right now, and why it's happening I have no clue. But this is why implementation of proper and true democracy needs to be implemented, because that's what happened for Germany, that's what happened for Korea. But why is it not happening
For here,
here?
I'll tell you why. Voting policies is actually just a secondary thing. You know what they really vote for?
Mm.
They vote for vibes. They vote first and foremost for vibes. You know, I can't deny that Trump has a charisma about him that draws people to be him. That's why he has a very cult like fan base,
Right.
right? I can't deny that from him, but you know, but at least I have the eyes to see, and a lot of people, and thankfully, a lot of people in this nation have the eyes to see that's just bullshit. Like he may be charismatic, but he's not smart. You know?
Right. And that reminds me of why Gavin Newsom is a prominent political figure in California. Because at the end of
He's
the day,
charismatic.
he's charismatic, and also let's not lie. Whether or not my generation gives or agrees with this, he's conventionally a white, attractive man.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people believe that.
Oh, for sure. He's tall, white, right? I think he's Catholic too.
I'd have no clue.
You don't. Well, I mean, you know, like
I remember Gavin. Yeah, I remember Gavin Newsom going to to Fama and Bible Baptist once.
Oh, so he fits everything that a
Yeah.
white nationalist, Christian nationalist movement wants for him. He is a tall, white, handsome Christian man.
And also he's for LGBTQ plus IA.
Well,
So,
that's
but that's his agenda,
that's
low key.
right. I mean, after the whole Charlie Kirk podcast with like the whole his Newsom's
think-
podcast with
yeah.
Charlie Kirk, I don't know about that.
I don't know about
I
that
think
anymore.
He's grifting. I really think
I
he's
think
grifting.
he goes with whatever he can win with.
Which sucks because that comes at the cost of the people, right? Like
That's what Trump did. That's why he went for the Republicans.
like,
People just
why
went for the
would people-
vibes.
Yeah, people vote for the vibes. I'm gonna guarantee you that. Like, props to Kamala Harris. She put up a good fight, but the thing is,
She will have a fight
only-
again.
Only months to garner enough vibes was just not enough, right?
Right.
If she was to say, "Hey, like we're not gonna alienate like the white male population too. Come vote for us. We'll make sure that you aren't mistreated and that, or you aren't making sure you're feeling marginalized. We'll give you a seat at the table." She unfortunately she didn't have not the time nor the means to be able to put that all together. That's why she lost.
But that's why the fight's not over too. So we have to have hope for the next 4 years. We gotta hang him there if that's even possible.
Yeah, I want to say let's keep hope for especially like the important elections when it comes to the midterms, right? Those are
Right.
actually what like our
Yes,
our,
we
people,
need more
our
people.
representatives are really
Yeah.
going to be making
We
the
need
most
more
change.
people to understand the severity and the importance of still voting during the midterm elections.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are going into our seats, and those are the people that we're going to be advocating and voting for the next president.
Assuming they don't rig elections, right? Assuming that our 2024 November election was not the last valid election, and they don't start rigging it, and I mean, Elon Musk isn't trying to buy like seats, like Supreme Court seats in Wisconsin, trying to get a, you know, trying to buy elections, assuming that our democracy isn't all dead. Let's,
Right.
I will say, let's keep voting. Let's actually vote for the policies. Here's the thing: the vibes will come after. Trust. If you vote right, the vibes will come after. You just got to get over the hump of saying, hey, like, I don't personally vibe with, my democratic, constituent that's gonna go into, who's gonna be up for election, or for the midterm, right? But at least there's more freedom for us to be able, and more flexibility for us as the people to be able to really speak our voices out, right? We'll call them out if they're starting to just get rich off of our monies and actually not enforce
Right.
policies
Also,
that they promised.
again, where's this whole mentality that we literally had for Biden, where we all agreed on the fact that we would settle for Biden, and then we would find someone better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that mentality now? I'm being so dead ass. When I was not able to vote, and it was Biden versus Trump. Where was, and everyone was talking about, if we can't have Bernie, then we're gonna settle for Biden. What happened to that mentality for Kamala?
Honestly, America's just not ready for a woman POC to be president. There's a lot
They
of
were
work that
too
needs to be
busy
done.
trying to figure out if she was Indian or black when she was both.
And do you see the issue where people are putting emphasis on, right? Aside from the fact that Republicans are already pushing to distract, like, voters, to see that that's the issue compared to actual policies that matter, right? Like Medicare, Medicaid, which,
Bigger things that will literally
yeah,
affect
student aid, right,
masses.
right. Like, it's like they want, they look, they've constructed that to work against their political opponents, to focus on the not as important things. Who cares if she's Indian or black, right? You
Right.
can see that she has melanin on her skin. So, like, what? Why are you so
Why are
hyper?
we yeah, why are we hyper fixating on the wrong things here?
Yeah, why are you hyper fixating on that? You should be talking policies. Well, and then again, if they did talk policies, Republicans would never win. Would never win a seat in politics anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If this was an actual, like, working society where people actually voted more on policies, Republicans will not have a seat at the table anymore, or at all.
Or at least what Republicans are now today.
Are not. I don't know if I'm going too far into my my left wing dig, but here's the thing: you can never really go too far into the left as it is right now, because America is inherently capitalist, which means we are inherently right wing. We will never
Mm-hmm.
talk. We will never reach the point of communism like how they did in Russia.
Mm.
Marxist communism. We will never get there. The most we'll have is Bernie, and
Yeah.
Bernie's the most left wing when he's not even like an actual Marxist. Bro is not a Marxist. Bro is literally center left.
Yeah.
And people say he's far left. Do you see how, like, do you see how big of a discrepancy that is?
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if I'm digging too far into this, into my far left ideologies
Ideology.
or whatever, right? But I will just say this: Democrats create policies, Republicans create problems.
Is that a tough pill to swallow for anyone?
I sure hope not, especially if you've been seeing it recently.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris had plans for all of us, like, good plans. The ones who just didn't choose to see that, y'all decided to blind yourselves, and that's on you, bro.
All
She
right.
had plans to make sure, a lot people were protected, uh, that programs would be funded, and that people would be able to buy houses again, right?
Yeah.
Again, Democrats create policies, Republicans create problems. who is causing a problem right now? Who is causing a disruption? Sure as hell ain't Kamala Harris.
Right. So yeah,
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot going on.
if you had paused any time in this whole podcast, I don't blame you. If you took a pause and took a breather and you were like, "Damn, that's a lot," it's okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would be
It is a
too.
lot. It's
I
a
would be
lot.
too.
It, like again, um, people may give me, like if you have any misgivings to me, like whoever's watching this, right? If you have any like opposing views on what I said, especially the ones that are more like aggressive and flagrant, oh, so be it. I'm being this aggressive now because we weren't before.
Right.
I fell into the whole play nice politics,
Right.
right? I can't say these things because it's too demeaning or it's too confrontational. I'm done with that.
Right.
I'm what I
They never
realize
give a
is
fuck about us, so why would we give a fuck about them?
what I realized is I can't play nice in a political environment, in a political landscape, in a United States that is against me, and I'm already speaking as a man, right? Speaking, that speaks against me, against Ren, against every DEI people, right? In which case, it's really just all immigrants. If you listen to this and you still find yourself disagreeing with me, hey, so be it. But I'm gonna keep speaking what I need to keep speaking until it gets drilled into your head. If you get tired of listening to me just berating you, then that's your fault. You'll fafo as always. If you don't listen to me, or if you don't listen to the actual wisdom we're trying to put out here, you go ahead and take the fafo for yourself.
Right.
Walk around and find out.
It will be what it will be for you, and you're gonna reap what you sow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we all have to suffer the consequences because of these dumb fucks. My goal here is to be mad. I'm gonna keep that a buck. I am mad. At the same time, this for people who actually have an iota of critical thinking and processing and realize maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is an issue. Good. I'm mad, but this is my encouragement to you guys who see it that way to rise up, call to action, call your local representatives, tell them, hey, we don't vote for this, hey, we want town halls, hey, for if you're in a red state or whatever, and you're not happy with your Republican representatives, them cutting all your stuff. Bernie's going around red districts right now all across the country, just hosting town halls for the Republicans that stopped hosting town halls. So listen to them, listen to him, right?
It's also never too late.
Yeah, like as much as I want to tout the whole doom and gloom, and like I said, I've been mad you can tell I've been mad this entire episode.
Right.
But again, it's never too late, like you said.
Yeah, anger in this situation right now, it shows how passionate we are to really get our shit together and really push back.
Yeah.
From these things.
Yeah.
Like there's a limit, and we hit it a long time ago. We're allowed to be mad. We're allowed to be furious. We're allowed to be frustrated, and that's exactly. And those feelings literally show how passionate we care about not only ourselves and our well-beings, not only our family and our well-beings, not only our church and their well-being, but just to everyone inside this nation, outside this nation.
Yeah. Yep. And I guess we'll leave it off for now. I think we don't want to over drill
We're
you guys
so
with all
over.
yeah, there's so much to talk about politics, but the thing is, it takes a lot. So, I guess we'll check in on this topic maybe in the next couple months.
Yeah, you don't even have a choice of whether or not you want to listen to this content. We will be talking about
we will
the political state
Yeah.
of this world every now and then.
It might be honestly, this might be a line of just like intermittent mini series or something, right?
Yeah, it's
like
just that important to us.
It is just that important. Like if it's a hard conversation that we need to have a talk about, it'll be here.
Yeah, for sure.
So wherever you are right now in the fight for your freedom, for your rights, or
For
if
your
you're
loved ones'
for your
rights.
loved ones, or if you're just starting, or if you are a recently turned leaf from the cult that is MAGA, and you are starting to, answer and start realizing and start reaping the consequences of your actions, then hey, at least you're learning, right? You're here. I'm not going to demonize you anymore. We have work to do.
Right.
We have
We have
work to
work
do.
cut out for us.
Yeah. If that means talking to your family members about it, try to shift them and try to, like, uh, prepare that groundwork so that they can eventually see it too. Hey, do it. That's your sign for activism. Any work to be done for this is activism.
Yeah.
Your protests, that's activism.
Your knowledge.
Your knowledge, you're debating, you're laying the groundwork for them to see it in the future that it's all wrong. That's activism. So hey, you're here. Congrats. We're happy for you. We have work
Right.
to do.
But yeah, thank you for listening to us yap about
Yep.
this fuck ass country.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Wow.
Let's just hope we may be cooked, but
Perhaps.
let's hope that the entire building isn't burnt down with it. We can rebuild if there's still a building. Let's just hope there still is a building left after all of this is done.
Yeah. What a great analogy. What a great way to
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to us.
We'll check in on you next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.